Hey, welcome to 209coach.com. I want to do a video for you on how this simple move can literally transform your swing. If you pay attention to what's going on in Major League Baseball, if you pay attention to what's going on in NCAA softball, you're going to start to see more and more players applying what I'm going to share with you in this video. And again, I truly believe that this simple move will definitely benefit your swing, and will make it a lot easier for you to see the ball. It'll make it a lot easier for you to time pitches. So let's get started here. Now this is Ohtani right here. Now watch what he does here. Basically what he does, he stays on his back leg and he just kind of hovers that leg out there, okay? Watch what he's doing here. He's not lunging. He lifts the leg and he pretty much just hovers that leg out there. Now, as he's starting his forward move, watch what's going on with his back elbow. You can see that the back elbow starts to work up, back and behind him, back and behind him. And you can see here, like I talk about in a lot of my videos, he has that shoulder to elbow look right here where it's pretty much in a straight line. Now, some players will have their elbow a little lower and some players will have their elbow a little higher. But this is pretty much what you'll see in Major League Baseball players, okay? Now, let's go to another player here. All right, here we have Juan Soto. Pay attention to what's going on right here. You will notice that he does what Ohtani pretty much does. Now, they all have their own little different style, but you will see here that he stays back on that back leg, and watch that front leg. Watch how he just kind of sticks it out there. He hovers it out there, okay? Now, again, this move right here, the way you do it, if you pay attention to what's going on here, pay attention to his belt buckle. Notice how the belt buckle starts to point towards the catcher. He's coiling off that back leg, getting a lot of resistance, a lot of coil, which creates a lot of power. And again, watch this move right here. He's not lunging. He's basically just sticking the leg out there. He's hovering it out there. Now again, watch what's going on with the back elbow as he starts to get into his forward move with that leg being hovered out there. In other words, not lunging. Pay attention to the back elbow. Notice how it works up, back, and behind him. And as he gets into his toe touch, again, just like Ohtani, this is what you'll see. It's very common. You'll see that back elbow be lined up with both his shoulders. And again, this creates a lot of resistance, a lot of great pullback, therefore a lot of power. Now, the problem what you see with a lot of players, and be aware of this, and I would recommend doing this in the mirror. When you get to toe touch, a good checkpoint is if your back elbow is down, okay? If it's down somewhere like this, that means you're depriving yourself of additional power, additional resistance and torque, okay? So you want to look in the mirror, try to get it where you have a shoulder to elbow look like this as you're hovering the front leg up front. You're not lunging. The move that you're trying to do is just like you saw with Ohtani. You're just basically, watch this move right here. It's not a lunge. It's just sticking the leg out there. Like I said, many more MLB players, NCAA softball players are applying this, and they're doing it for a reason because it allows you to see the ball better. You're not lunging. You're not going to be dropping the hands. Let's go to another player. All right, here we have Aaron Judge. Watch what he's doing here. Again, he gets into that back leg. Watch the belt buckle, how it starts to coil. That's very important. The back pocket or the tailbone going towards the pitcher. And all he's doing right here is just sticking that leg out there. In other words, he's not lunging. He's just hovering it out there. Now again, in order to do this, I would recommend for you to pretty much feel like you have 100% of your weight on your back leg. What you're trying to do while you're doing this in front of a mirror, you want to make sure your belt buckle would be pointing towards the catcher. Don't lunge out there. Just get to toe touch and just pretty much stop right here. And you should feel like most of your weight is on your back leg. Again, look at his front leg. He's not lunging. He's almost like he's just hovering it out there, just like the other players I just showed you. Again, as you're getting into your forward move, as you're getting into your toe touch, again, pay attention to the back elbow as you start your forward move, not before. As you start your forward move, watch what's going on right here. Watch the back elbow. Notice how it works up, back, and behind him. Up, back, and behind him. This is what you see in the most elite players in the world. Again, what you will see is you will have a player at this stage of the swing, for the most part, they will have a shoulder to elbow look, okay? You want to have this kind of a shoulder to elbow look. That's very important. By not having these kind of angles, you're depriving yourself of additional power. You're depriving yourself of a lot of opportunities for you to hit doubles, triples, and home runs. Again, when players drop that back elbow too much at toe touch, they're just going to lose a lot of power. This, again, it's like a rubber band stretching. Again, watch the lower body, watch the pullback, watch how the leg just hovers out there. This simple move right here of just hovering the back leg out there as you're getting to toe touch and applying this pullback is going to give you tremendous power. Now here we have Barry Bonds, and it's kind of a consensus out there in Major League Baseball from many years back to present that Barry Bonds is probably the best hitter that has ever played the game as far as being able to see the ball and hit the ball with power. Watch what he does. Pay attention to his front leg. Notice how he just leaves it out there. He just hovers it. He's not lunging. You can see what's going on with him. Pay attention to his belt buckle, how it's pointing more towards the catcher right there. And again, he's not lunging. He's just kind of just sticking that leg out there. Notice how he stays back. He's not lunging. And again, watch the back elbow. Watch how the back elbow, as he gets into his forward move. Notice how low his back elbow is right here. It's not until he gets to his forward move that the back elbow works up, back and behind him, up, back and behind him. This is crucial. And what you're going to see, again, just like all the other players, you're going to have that kind of a shoulder to elbow look. Again, this simple move, it's very simple. If you can master this particular move, I guarantee you the rest of your swing will become much easier, a lot more power, and you'll be able to hit a lot more doubles and triples. This is a very common fundamental of what's going on right now in Major League Baseball and elite NCAA softball. Now I can actually show you so many more players that are applying exactly what all the players that I showed you just did. But one thing I want to show you here, this is very, very common. Now, I have given many, many lessons over my career as a coach, and I'm going to show you what's very common here. Even though Juan Carlos Stanton is an MLB player, again, he's like 6'6", 6'7". He's an athlete, okay? Even though he has subpar hitting mechanics, he has great eye-hand coordination, he has a lot of power, and even though he's very inconsistent with far as average, at times he's hitting under 200, which is not good for an MLB player, but when he does connect, he connects, okay? His timing has to be very, very good. And this is the thing that you have to understand, that when your mechanics are subpar, you're relying a lot on athleticism, you're relying a lot on timing. So let me explain to you, this is what pretty much is very, very common when I've worked with players. When they come to me, watch what's going on right here. You'll notice here that there is no hip coil, and it basically is a lunge. Notice how the head is right there. I put a line by right behind his head, and notice how he starts to go forward and how much he drops his head. Now, the reason he's dropping so much and the reason he's going forward is because this is what I was referring to. This is a lunge swing. When you lunge, think about this logically. The ball is going to come at you even faster because now instead of staying back and waiting for the ball, you're going at the ball. Okay, your head, your body's moving towards the ball, therefore accelerating the speed of the ball coming at you. Not only that, when you lunge, watch how much his head is dropping right here. And again, if you ever record yourself and you're lunging, you're going to see that your head moves forward and it's going to drop quite a bit. Look how much his head dropped. And another tendency of players that lunge that don't do that move of that hovering move. Now watch what he does. He's not sticking his leg out there like you see the other players. He's basically lunging and hitting off of heel plant. And again, like I mentioned earlier, when you hit off a heel plant, the tendency is that you're going to drop your hands. Look at his hands. Watch what's going on right here. This is very common and it's very common in players that lunge and players at lower levels. Now again, watch his back elbow. Watch what's going on with it. You saw that what I mentioned earlier with all the other players I mentioned, the back elbow works up, back, and behind them where they get to toe touch and they have that shoulder to elbow look. Watch what's going on with him. His shoulders are right here and his back elbow you can see how low his back elbow is. Now again, this right here, imagine if he did what the other players did at 6'6", 6'7", and with the athleticism and talent that he has. He would be dominating the MLB. But again, this video right here is just basically to show you that if you stay back and do that simple move that I mentioned to you and not just lunge forward like this, I promise you it's going to help you tremendously to see the ball better. You're not going to lunge. You're not going to drop your hands. You're not going to drop your head. You're going to have far greater opportunities. Please give me a like if you enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you always tuning into my channel. Have a blessed day.